Well, hello.
Stunods!
Okay.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are the Stunods, and for the first time, we're not filming out of my basement.
Yes.
We're here at Iron Culture Gym in Cedar Knolls, New Jersey, New Jersey's most hardcore gym, stocked with the latest designs and fitness equipment from reputable brands such as Arsenal Strength, Hammer Strength, and Rogue Fitness, the place you need to be to achieve your fitness goals. We are joined by, we are joined by our owners Charles Addessi and Arthur Imperatore, and we just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
So what'd you think of the place when we walked in, man?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the spot you want to be at.
Yeah.
So at least the way we train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of the commercial gyms you go to, it's like you go in there and it's not the right people you want to be around if you're trying to get to a certain goal.
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion, you know?
Yeah, we wanted to do something new and fresh and different, create a new brand that was really about the hardcore experience, but also welcoming to the general public.
Yeah.
And, you know, Charlie and I think we've achieved that in a little less than a year. We're already making money, we're growing, we're doing really well.
That's awesome.
This guy runs our personal training programs and he does an amazing job.
Yeah.
And the response we get from everyone is the same. It's like, wow, this is different, this is fresh.
Yeah.
I like this.
That's awesome.
And so we're very excited about what we've been able to do.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. It's, you know, you see the common theme with a lot of the corporate gyms, like the red and yellow, the purple, the weird colors, the contracts, you got to call California to cancel. We didn't want to be that kind of gym anymore. We wanted to be a gym that was more, the owners are here every day.
Yeah.
Hey, here we are. What's up? You know, it definitely on Instagram, it looks like, just like real, intense, but it is intense in terms of like the way that we approach our members' success, right? So we want to help these people actually really, get results in any way, shape, or form. If they do training, great. If not, we're still here to guide them and push them and motivate them in any way.
Definitely. I mean, training should be intense. It shouldn't be something you take lightly.
No. Yeah, I mean, especially personal. When it comes to a personal training. But I mean, your own exercise and fitness has got to be, always on point. Always on point.
Well, we say hardcore is an attitude. It's not a measure of your development level. So you can be 30 pounds overweight and sedentary, and you can still be hardcore if you really want to change yourself.
Definitely.
If you come here, we promise to get you the results you want.
Yeah.
So that's hardcore. You
Yeah.
don't have to be a pro bodybuilder or a pro athlete. You just have to want to be better.
Sure. Oh my God. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like when it's an independent gym compared to commercial gyms, like if you're going for personal training or for certain goals, you're coming to an independent gym that actually cares for the clients that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
Where the commercial gyms, it's like, we just want your monthly fee, and you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, exactly.
At least that's
It's a revolving door of members and employees, because I started there as an employee. I guess I'll share a little bit about my background.
Sure.
And I started there as a sales guy doing memberships.
LA Fitness, right?
Yeah. No. And then, I was always sales savvy. I always did a bunch of sales, but I wanted to be a trainer. I wanted to, help people and just see what was up, and give it a try, because I loved working out so much. It saved me at a dark time in my life. Definitely. So I figured, hey, it's time to give back,
Yeah.
And if I can make some money along the way, great.
Definitely.
So I did that, got paid not enough, and had way too much to do. So what they do at those gyms is they just kind of run the employees, especially, they run them into the ground. They don't pay them enough. And then the members, they treat them just like another number. So when I had a vision even of this ever even being a thing, I said in my head, this is how I would do it.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that like I met Arthur and we did this, and this is just it's like meant to be,
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's really cool.
It's more than a business for the both of us. It's how we live. I mean, we're here every day. We're both bodybuilders. We're both into fitness. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a life discipline, and we share that with our members, and people respect us and respect that. And we're always here to answer questions and help out. There's no bureaucracy. There's no bullshit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So and that's why we picked the name culture. It's a powerful word. It's all about community. It's about a common experience, shared values, and shared work. And people who come here find that, and that's why I think we've been so successful.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. Moving into a little bit about your lifestyles and your past experience. just as for both of you, however you want to answer, like just tell us like where you grew up, what your lifestyle was like, sports, family, town you grew up in, things like that.
Let me start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm old enough to be Charlie's dad.
He's definitely my second dad, that's for sure.
I'm 57, and I started. I fell in love with bodybuilding when Pumping Iron first came out in 1975, I think. I went to the movie theater and saw that movie and just fell in love with it. I said, "This is great. I want to do this." I started lifting when I was 15, and I've been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
I had to back off on it a little bit when I had my kids. I had 4 kids in 6 years, and that was a little hard. But I always managed to get to the gym somehow. And then when I had the opportunity, I spent my career in my family business. If you've ever taken a ferry to New York City, you've probably been on one of our boats, New York Waterway. And we've also been real estate developers. So I had a successful first career, and I was able to really pursue a passion of mine by opening this gym and taking the lead from the family company. And last year when I met Charlie, it was like an instant. We got it. This is a connection that was meant to be.
Yeah.
And it's blossomed ever since.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm a kid from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up there. I also grew up in Jersey, half and half. I always loved working out. I always played football. I was a high school football captain. Loved sports no matter what, just because of the competitive nature.
Yeah.
And the, that fulfillment, like that accomplishment, like when you get something done, it's like, okay, I worked for this shit, like I got it.
Definitely.
So that's why I love working out. It's because you can just take it to the absolute next level and just really push the fucking limit and like put yourself through an amount of pain. And with the diet, you can really make things get, you can get interesting, and things can get freaky when you really dial in and focus on what you're trying to do. So in that sense, I love working out because what you see is what that person is working for. Like the physique speaks for itself, and that's what makes bodybuilding cool for me. But this has always been a dream of mine, like I was saying before, running a place like this, having my own trainers, having my own, staff, having my own gym, just dealing with helping people on a daily basis has always been something I want to do. Yeah. And I never wanted to work for behind the desk or anything like that. And this is just, like Arthur said, it's perfect. It's like a dream come true. Yeah. It's wild.
You want to tell us your dynamic, how you guys met each other?
Yeah. So I was a trainer at this gym when it was not Iron Culture. It was called Nitro Fit. It was a hardcore old school gym, and I had my independent.
A little bit run down, but cool.
Yeah. It was definitely beaten up. Yeah. Great place though, I gotta say. It was an old school, just hardcore gym. And Arthur walked in with somebody to check the place out, and he was going to potentially buy it. And I had my own business in there at the time. I had about 35 clients of my own. And I saw them walking around looking at the fixtures and everything. And I just knew, I'm like, this guy's definitely going to buy the place. Yeah. Or something of that nature. Yeah. So I beelined it up to him. I said, hey, what's up? My name's Charlie. I'm one of the trainers here. I have a ton of clients. Let me know if you need help. And they called me, and, eventually that's how it all worked out. While I was training somebody, I was like,
knew he was the man.
Well, you see the landlord pointing at certain things, and he's dressed nice, and they both have notepads. It's like, okay,
that's not how you work out. They're taking notes on something.
That's great, dude. Yes, that's the truth, though. That's the truth.
That's awesome.
So that's how we met, which is pretty damn cool. And then he's just the best guy ever. Like, he's got the biggest heart ever. With his connections and his history, he could have found anybody to do what I do. And he's letting me, fulfill my dream and be the internal heartbeat of this place. I'm here every day doing the day-to-day grunt work, making sure this place is running like a fully well-oiled machine. And he's the overseeing operator who kind of.
He's the engine on the steering.
I'm like his little. I'm like in what's that thing you shake up, a snow globe. I'm like running around in there getting shit done. He's like, okay, here you go, do this, do that, do this. So it just works really well because we have a good relationship, and he trusts me, and I obviously trust him with my life. I mean,
that's cool.
I owe him my life.
You owe me a lot. But you'll pay me back.
It was a great investment. We really dove headfirst into this.
Yeah.
When did you guys establish it? What was like a date in the year?
We took the space on January 1st of 19.
Okay.
And we got open 9 weeks later. We opened on March 7th, on time and on budget.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, there was an instant buzz. People started realizing this is really different. This is cool. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And so, the traffic kept building and building. And at first we really didn't do that much marketing. We just did Instagram and word of mouth. People vote with their feet. And I think the trick for us is just to get someone in the door. Once they walk through the door, they see the place and go, wow. And chances are, if they walk through the door, they're gonna join or do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's been our experience.
You mentioned being a personal trainer and just having training people to get to a goal or physique that they want. When they reach that goal, can you elaborate what that does to you as the trainer? Not even just them. Like, how does it make you feel mentally?
Most of the time, if you're a good personal trainer, you're gonna help somebody achieve way more than just that physique. You're gonna change their life. And I know that I've changed many lives. It's really about instilling, confidence in people that's always been there, but just kind of like pulling it out of them.
Yeah.
And just
amplifying it, right?
Yeah, pulling out the beast in people, man. It's awesome. It's really fucking cool, actually, when you see all like walks of life able to like come to life and just, grind through a couple more reps, you know what I mean? And push through a plank, a couple seconds longer or whatever. But, it's more about building that entire, they grow mentally, they grow spiritually even, because, they're reaching goals, they're feeling better about themselves by losing weight. They're reaching goals they've never done before. They're structured, they're regimented. I mean, there's no better, feeling than having all those things being complete. I think, feeling organized, feeling like you're doing something productive and structured and healthy, and you look good, you feel good. It's all like really, really positive stuff.
Extremely important, especially when trying to reach a specific goal.
I think there's some popular misunderstanding about the fitness community. I think people who aren't into it don't appreciate it. Think that it's all about vanity and just looking good. And that's a side benefit, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
we all want to look good. And,
you got to still look good.
Definitely want the biceps.
But much more deep than that. It's a life discipline, and it's a therapy for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a therapy for me. I think Charlie and I both have addictive personalities.
Yep.
I've had struggles with addiction. Charlie's had struggles with addiction.
That's right.
And it was really through fitness that I got through a very dark period in my life when our family business almost lost everything during the financial crisis, and I stopped going to the gym and I got into real trouble.
Yeah.
And I look back on those years and say, if I just kept going to the gym and didn't go to a psychiatrist to get pills, I would have been so much better off. But thankfully it was a short enough period that I was able to turn it around, and, as Charlie did at an earlier age. So, I urge everybody, the mind-body connection is so powerful. We live in our bodies, but all too often we live in our heads.
Yeah.
And what I love about fitness is it forces you out of your head back into your body, and that's a much better place to be, because then you can get back into your head from a much better place.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So another question for you. You mentioned that you own various businesses. How does your work ethic in the gym apply to that? Apply to how you oversee it, how you run a business?
I think the connection is very important. I mean, bodybuilding, when I fell in love with pumping iron and Arnold Schwarzenegger's story, it's a life discipline. You do it whether you feel like it or not.
Yeah.
You commit to it, and you visualize your progress as a series of steps that you have to take sequentially in order to achieve a long-term goal. And that is what anyone has to do whenever confronted with a complex project. If you're building an apartment building, or you're building a software company, or whatever it is, or writing a book, or there's a huge task that you have to break down into bite-sized chunks and attack every day. And that's what I love about working out, because it's the same thing. You do it in the gym, and of course you feel refreshed and renewed from the exercise, and you get the endorphin rush, so you have the clear head and the energy then to take that to the office or wherever you're going to do your next set of tasks.
I feel like it's not that it's simple going into the gym and creating something you want, but again, it's realistic, and it's as long as you have the right tools and you put in the time, the consistency, it's going to come out.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't realize kind of what you guys are elaborating on is when you go and put in that consistency, it builds a work ethic.
Yep.
and just within going to the gym for even like 45 minutes, it's going to do something for you. Even if you notice it or not, you're going to wake up probably a little bit more motivated that day or something. Or have a little bit of spark in your ass.
It's a controlled form of suffering, I'm going to subject myself to the stress of training, on a regular basis, because I know that if I do that, it's going to result in something really beautiful in the end,
Speaking on the culture of your gym, what would you pick one word to describe it? One word.
It's community.
Community,
yeah. Again, we picked the word culture for a reason.
Yeah.
Culture is a powerful word. It has a lot of positive connotations. It's about connection, it's about community, it's about shared goals and shared experience. And it's interesting because weightlifting, is kind of a solitary activity. You do it mostly by yourself or maybe with a partner. It's not like a team sport. And yet, if you come here, you feel like you're part of a team because everyone else is engaged in the same kind of activity, has the same kind of goals, is mutually supportive and mutually understanding.
Well, I think too, coming from our backgrounds as athletes, always having a community with every season you go into, you know what I mean? So you always have a group of 40 friends that you can get involved with just from your team.
Well, it's the thing too, when you have that community, like I know for when I was training for baseball, you'd have 40 guys around you screaming at you to push up a new max PR for something, for a squat or a deadlift or a bench, whatever the case may be. And to have that is very supportive, and I think it helps you smash through your goals. So our community is very important, and I think you've done a very good job of establishing that here. So, so what would you say separates Iron Culture from a commercial gym like a Retro Fitness or a Crunch or something like that?
We're a real gym. Like we are definitely one of the first gyms to do everything full circle the right way, and I can say that confidently.
Yeah. Well, because you kind of experience both sides of it.
Correct. Yeah.
Just to add on to that point, you go out into America and everything's the same now.
Right.
I mean, the chains control everything.
Yeah.
Chain restaurants, chain hotels, chain retail, chain gyms. And it's the same all over the country, and it's like, okay, I mean, you're hungry, you go to McDonald's, it'll fill you up, but will it really satisfy you, so we've wanted to create some, a more genuine, more authentic, more all-encompassing experience. And, this guy and the way he's approached the personal training program has been one of the great keys to our success.
The lack of gym etiquette in today's gym goers. So here, I know it's not a problem. People will rack their weights. They will respect the gym for what it is. But if you go to a Retro Fitness or a Crunch, people don't necessarily respect the gym. How do you guys feel about that?
It's just really comes down to people being lazy and not caring. I mean, it goes to don't be the guy that leaves the shop, your cart at ShopRite in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
In the middle of the parking lot. Don't be that guy. But those, that's the world we live in today, man. People are lazy. People are they don't care, so they just leave shit.
Yeah.
Dirty.
It's an attitude that we as owners we set the tone, and our members pick up on that, and they're all they're all into fitness to the point where they understand that this is an important thing, that we don't have to be after them. I mean, every once in a while, of course, but for the most part, no, we don't even have signs posted to rack the weights or wipe down the equipment because people just do it. And that's very unusual.
You guys lead exactly what you said by example, and I think that's what again goes back to your community and what you guys instill as leaders. So I respect that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Just rack your weights, okay?
Just rack your fucking
now we're gonna make
weights,
sure we
man.
don't forget something. Don't forget that
Message for everyone at home: rack your weights.
That's great. Yeah. And we're gonna freak out.
How did you get into bodybuilding and competing?
I'll start. I did my first show last year. At the age of 56, and I won.
That's awesome.
I'm actually the men's over 50 New Jersey state champ. I love to lift. I was always into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But again, I had a different career. I had a corporate career. I had kids. I couldn't really do it to the extent that I wanted to, and that was fine. But I always kept fit, and I always, was always pretty big and muscular.
Yeah.
So when I had the opportunity to finally open my own gym, I said, well, I gotta go the whole distance and do it. And it was a great experience. It was miserable, but it was great. I mean, you know, when you have to do carb depletion and for 3 weeks you're eating nothing but egg whites and, you know, asparagus and
Your
grilled
pee
chicken,
smells.
grilled chicken and broccoli, you know, that's rough. You know,
I would imagine.
It's really, really, but, you know, again, with the ultimate goal in sight, it keeps you going. And, you know, when I finally did it, you know, I felt a tremendous sense of accomplishment.
And going off a little bit more about that, how are you able to maintain a physique at an older age? Because I mean, me and him both, we've both, you know, seen Instagram pictures, things like that. Right. Physique is unbelievable.
Thank you. Well, you know, I have good genetics.
Yeah.
You know, my dad is 94 and a half years old. He goes to work every day in a suit and tie.
Oh wow.
You know,
so
you know,
awesome.
I'm blessed to have good genetics, but you know, I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
Diet piece, of course, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'm lucky in that I never had a sweet tooth. You know, it's very easy for me to give up sugar.
Yeah.
And I never binge ate, you know. So, you know, my dietary discipline, it's just sort of wired into me, you know.
That's
and
good.
When, you know, when the sun, you know, gets higher in the sky and it gets warmer out, my diet automatically changes, you know.
Really?
I might start cutting out the carbs and I just lean out more easily. So I'm fortunate in that way. But having said that, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know.
Can you talk a little bit about how meal prepping and nutrition is so impactful, but more so when you're eating? Does it feel more as like a workout in itself?
Yeah.
In a way, like when you're actually eating those meals, like you're not really necessarily enjoying it. I would imagine, like just eating plain ass chicken.
It's part of your training is that I gotta eat now. You know, I gotta
Right.
force this food down my throat, and that's the worst part.
Right.
You know, it's you know, food loses its pleasure. You know, and it just becomes another tool, you know, to achieve your goals. But that's when you're prepping. You know.
You want to elaborate a little bit how you got into bodybuilding?
I just went for it, man. After we opened up the same, I mean, he's been into bodybuilding for a long time. I've just, you know, I played football my whole life. I've just always been into sports and training, but I just gave it a shot. Said I was going to do it for a long time. Always worked out like a lunatic, but never really, you know, with any direction. So I took on a, you know, after meeting him, actually really took on a more structured approach to an off-season to bodybuilding, kind of, not really following it to a T. And then hired a coach, and then boom, just did it, and actually did really well. Did
awesome.
one of the biggest shows on the East Coast of the year. It's at the end of the year every year.
Yeah.
Pretty prestigious show. So now I'm nationally qualified for this year to do a national show.
Awesome.
And if I can get, you know, place high enough in that, I can get a pro card. But for me, honestly, you know, my career goals after that, you know, I'm not going to put a halt on anything, but for me, I think, you know, getting a pro card would be the highest that I would push myself in bodybuilding. I'm really passionate about pushing the brand and building as many iron cultures as I possibly can.
Sure.
And helping as many people and reaching as many people as I can with the message that we try to deliver.
All right, going into another big question, I want to talk about your views on the use of PEDs and anabolic steroids in bodybuilding today.
Cool.
I'll start. I
Sure.
mean, look, it's a part of the sport.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is a very odd sport because it's the only one really where the use of these drugs is almost expected.
Yeah.
We don't condone it. We don't advise people to do it. But of course, we have no control over what our members or what the people in the general public might do.
Right.
You know, all I would say is that it's a personal choice. I think that it can be done safely, but there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bro science, you know,
Sure.
and people get into trouble. And you know, if you want to do it, you should do it under a doctor's supervision. Find a doctor that's sympathetic.
Right.
And a lot of them aren't.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to find a doctor to work with, but if you really want to do that, then do it the right way. Do it under a doctor's supervision, and do it in moderation.
Right.
You know, and I think you should be able to be okay. But people who abuse it, you know, they get into trouble, and often they die early, and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
By any means.
Yeah, I mean, everything he just said is pretty much how I feel as well. It's just, you know, anybody that comes to me, especially now being an owner of this gym, a lot of young guys will come to me and say like, oh, you know, what can I do? What can I take? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've been working out for 2 years, like 3 years. Like, dude, like, you know, you can't compare yourself to the guy across the room.
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely.
The guy across the room, I'll just like use myself for an example. I'm working out since I'm 13 years old. I'm 26.
Yeah.
So it's 13 years of muscle on me. You know, like thickness in every area, like that's not achievable even when you do take PEDs.
Right. Yeah.
In a short amount of time. So, you know, and if you're gonna do that, then it's gonna be extremely dangerous. So my point being is, I tell a lot of guys, like, please give yourself some time.
How about put yourself first?
Yeah, reach your natural peak, and then
100%.
like chill and see later, man. Right. You know, like, you know, it's just, and to your question, if you're not competing in that sense, I just don't see the need for it. You know what I mean? For, you know, when you get to that age where you know testosterone levels start to drop, go right ahead, man. You know, it's nature. You know, you want to push them back up. Everybody gets it. You want to stay young. We get that. But if you're young and you're not in any sort of competition or need to do that for any reason, you know, you are playing with dangerous fire. I mean, it can be done right and it can be done safely, but there's everybody's different. You know, so.
All right, we're at our final question, and so for Iron Culture, what is your goal moving forward
for the company? Where do you see it in the next 10 years?
Yep.
I think Iron Culture will be the next great brand in fitness. I really do. The response we've gotten so far in 9 months has been extraordinary.
Yeah.
People from all over the region have said, "Can you open one near us?"
That's
you know?
Yeah.
And you know, it goes to show that there's just a lack of originality. There's a lack of freshness. There's a lack of that personal connection. You know, in the gym industry, as in most industries these days, unfortunately. Right. You know, if Charlie and I can maintain that culture as we grow the business, we could take the world over.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it'll be a challenge. You know, to find the right people. And make sure that they embody our values.
Yeah.
You know, because it really starts with us. You know, and we have as companies grow, you can lose control over the culture, over the management. That would be my biggest concern as a businessman. But if we can address that concern, we have a tremendous future ahead of us.
Iron Culture is my life, so you know, I'll be behind it, pushing it the way I did here. I mean, I think if we can replicate what we've done here anywhere, which we definitely can because we have the ideas and then also the resources to do so. You know, it's just about finding the right spaces and you know.
And the right people.
And the right people, of course. There's not a lot of people that, you know, get it.
Right.
Just leave it at that, you know, who really just get it, you know.
I'll leave it off. You guys are literally the definition of hard work. I mean, you guys grind, man, and just it shows.
It emulates off you for sure.
It shows. I mean, as a gym, as soon as you walk in the atmosphere, you feel it. And then we sat down with you guys. It's absolutely incredible. So we wish you best of luck. You know, whatever comes up. Hopefully you guys take it on. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your coming and all your support. And
thanks for having us.
Fucking weights and
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So awesome. So yeah, again, we want to thank you for having us here today. To everyone listening at home, oh boy, to everyone listening at home, please be sure to check out Iron Culture Gym and Charlie and Arthur's respective social media accounts. We'll leave Iron Culture's website and social media handles in the description below. Right. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Stunods podcast for more weekly content. And what do you say, Dom? You want to see what Iron Culture's all about?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Tuning off.
Signing off.